Hawker win this in order to close the gap and start to make up some of the points with LSU. All right, they are off. 12 finalists, cut down from 24 from Wednesday's semifinals. And you just never know when a race like this at the championship level is going to devolve into a tactical affair. So far, the turnover looks very, very good. But Ilya Kipsang already pointing to the fact that he didn't want the lead, points to Nagu, says, why don't you just take over right here? You never know what kind of a race this young man is going to run. We've seen him run insane pace in qualifying rounds at the SEC meet 4 weeks ago. And we've seen him run like he's never run before during the indoor season. Well, he is a threat.
I was going to say, he came in and immediately abolished the Alabama record, Alabama school record, 3:36 for the 1,500 meters. He is a front runner. So is Yared Nuguse. But you're right, absolutely right, Dwight. He is a wild card, but he's only running the 1,500 meters here, and we've seen him double and triple at some of those other meets. And talking to Sean Carlson, the Notre Dame assistant coach who coaches Yared Nuguse every day, he said, you know, we'd love to see Ilya Kipsang lead. We'd love to play the hunter and then pass him, certainly with about a lap and a half to go, but that doesn't look like that scenario is going to play out.
So far, the pace is not blistering, but it's honest. Everybody, all 12, still in this affair, but things will start to change soon. Well, we're watching the wind also. Sorry, Dan. There is plenty of wind down there, and that's going to be a major effect on many of these round races.
Well, I was going to say, Yared Nuguse, when he's in a race, he's always going to make it an honest pace. He does not want to give some of the kickers the opportunity to come up from behind. Yared Nuguse, he's familiar with this facility. He was here for the Oregon Twilight meet on May 7th, and he came here just as his warm-up, and he ended up taking down both Cole Hawker and Cooper Tier, and just a few weeks after that, he took down the NCAA outdoor record.
Just under 2:01 at the 800 meters, so right on 4-minute pace for a mile, but this is a 1,500 meters, but certainly everybody in this final is able to handle it. Kipsang continuing running on the outside of lane 1, maybe even bothering Nuguse a little bit, rubbing up against him from time to time. Now we see Walid Suleiman of Ole Miss, finally a senior at Oxford. Hawker right in there against the rail. Here is the bell. Nuguse, Kipsang, Suleiman, and Hawker, and look at everybody shifted gears right there at the bell.
And Sam Tanner there in 5th position. He's a good kicker as well from the University of Washington. But Notre Dame coach Sean Carlson said he wanted Yared Nuguse to go to the top and never relinquish it. But I think it was a little bit slow in that first 1,200 meters.
Hawker now trying to get back into position. He was bumped and got a little off stride. Kipsang, you just don't know what he's going to do. He has the legs for this. Here comes Nuguse, the defending champion, and Hawker right there.
Well, Cole Hawker has come back on quite a few people this season. He's an outstanding kicker with 100 meters to go. We'll see who's got some left.
Right now it's Hawker and Nuguse right there. The defending champion doesn't have the answer, and Oregon's going to score 10 right here. Hawker wins it. Nuguse 2nd, Suleiman 3rd, and Kipsang 4th. The freshman pulls off the victory here at home.
And look at that time, 3:35.35, and that's an outstanding time for these windy conditions. And that was exactly the kind of race that Cole Hawker wanted to run. You know, at an even, if they were to line up and run 100 meters, I would probably say that Cole Hawker would win that outright. But after 3,400 meters, it just was a gut check to see who had something left. But there you see Ilya Kipsang. He's trying to move to the outside a little bit. Cole Hawker's stuck on the inside. He had to slow his momentum down a little bit, and that can sometimes throw some guys off. But just absolute perfect positioning for Cole Hawker. And he just wears his emotions on his sleeve, and you can tell how tired he is. The head goes back, and he's just a freshman already becoming a legend in these parts. Getting to be known as such a fantastic kicker. Did run a 54-second lap at the end of a 5K at the Pac-12 championships, but big victory for him.